Good afternoon, everybody. I welcome you all to this introductory class of sociology organized on behalf of 𝐕𝒑𝒂𝒕𝒊𝒐𝒏 India's the most premier institution providing coaching for civil service examination. This class is all about the strategy for UPSC civil service examination and the approach of deciding the optional. I want to tell you the fact that even today, that is in 2023, optional is the most vital factor in matter of getting selected or getting eliminated in UPSC civil service examination. Why? I want to tell you the fact that in civil service examination, whether a candidate would be selected or eliminated, that will be decided and determined by the score he or she makes in the optional subject. Because it's very easy to score 60% plus marks in optional, and it is quite impossible to score 60% mark in general study. That's the reason I usually used to say that optional is the real game changer in UPSC civil service examination. And if you see the marks of all selected candidates by the UPSC, you would reach at the conclusion that all the selected candidates, they scored more marks in optional compared to general study papers. Therefore, I told you the fact that optional is the real game changer in the UPSC civil service examination. And I want to tell you the fact that students across the country, they ask me a question that what is the best optional? Which optional is scoring optional? I am into this line for the last 20 years. Over my 20 years of teaching sociology optional in different parts of our nation, every year I usually face a question from the students, very sincere and serious students, regarding, sir, what is the best optional? Please tell us the best optional, and we would decide that optional and we would score good marks in that optional. I want to tell you the fact that best optional, the concept of best optional is a myth. So instead of asking a question whether optional is scoring or not, whether optional is best optional or not, you ask yourself the question that the optional that you decide to opt for, whether the subject matter of the optional is interesting for you or not. If the subject matter of the optional is interesting for you, definitely it would be scoring for you. If the subject matter of the optional is not interesting for you, it will never ever be scoring for you, though it may be scoring for some other candidates who like the subject matter of the optional. Therefore, always ask a question that the optional that I think to opt for civil service examination, whether the subject matter of the optional is interesting or not. So, I would be telling you 4 important points in matter of deciding the optional. How to decide your optional for civil service, UPSC civil service examination. The most important point is whether the subject matter of the optional is interesting for you or not. This is the first point. The optional that you think to opt for civil service examination, whether the subject matter of the optional is interesting for you or not. If the subject matter is interesting for you, definitely it will be scoring for you. If it is not interesting for somebody else, it will never be scoring for him or her. So, this is the first factor. Second factor is availability of good guidance. If you are opting an optional in which you have not done your graduation degree or post-graduation degree, definitely subject matter of the optional is new for you. Therefore, in that context, you must be under the supervision of a good guide. By good guide or good guidance, I mean a teacher who would take genuine and personal interest in matter of cultivating the right frame of mind, because cultivating right frame of mind is much more necessary than reading hundreds of books. What is that right frame of mind? Just after a few minutes I would be discussing that right frame of mind. Come to the third point in matter of deciding optional. The third point in matter of deciding the optional is how the subject matter of the optional is contributing to your English essay paper, to different papers of general study, and how also the subject matter of the optional is also contributing to your viva voce or interview. This point must be kept in your mind before deciding the optional. And the last point in matter of deciding the optional is that the optional that you have selected and the optional in which you have not done your graduation degree or post-graduation degree, obviously the subject matter of the optional should be least technical for you, so that it would be interesting for you and it would be also scoring for you. So I want to tell you the fact that the optional must be, subject matter of the optional must be least technical for you, so that it would be more scoring for you. Okay? Yeah. So, good afternoon, Sudipta. Okay. Then come to next point of discussion. I want to tell you the fact that obviously sociology is least technical by nature. As sociology is least technical by nature, that's the reason over the last 6 or 7 years of the list of successful candidates in UPSC examination, you would find that every year many students opting sociology optional in UPSC examination, and those who came from non-sociology background, means they came from engineering background, from management background, from commerce background, they have also become toppers in IS examination. It is because sociology by nature is least technical, and I have just presented the name of a few toppers over the last 6 or 7 years in the UPSC examination, those who came from non-sociology background and they scored very good marks, outstanding marks in sociology. That's the reason they stood within top 10 in the UPSC examination, but their parent subject was not sociology, rather their parent subject was engineering, their parent subject was management, their parent subject was science and others. This is the list you see. This year's topper number 2, Animesh Pradhan. Second topper, he was engineering background. He was having engineering background, but he became topper number 2. This signifies that if you have not done degree in sociology, as sociology is less technical, even opting sociology in UPSC civil service examination, you can also score very good marks and you can also become topper. Previous year, that is 2021, obviously there was a lady candidate, Gamini Singla, who became topper number 3, and she was also from technical background, and by opting sociology she became topper. And see the name of the other students, those by opting sociology optional, those who came from non-sociology background, but they scored very good marks in sociology and they stood within top 10 list in UPSC civil service examination. Okay, you just see it. And as today is the orientation class, in this orientation class I want to tell you the fact why to opt sociology. If you are opting sociology, how sociology would help you, how sociology would help you in matter of becoming successful in IS examination, that I want to tell you. Listen, first of all, sociology means the study of society. I will discuss later in detail. Sociology has been derived from two words. One is socius. Socius means society. Socius means society. Socius means society. Another is logos. Logos means study or scientific study. Therefore, the scientific study of society is sociology. Sociology is the scientific study of society. Okay, so the scientific study of society is called sociology. So sociology means it is all about the study of society. If you have not done any degree, either graduation degree or post-graduation degree in sociology, still then informally you know the subject matter of sociology, though formally you have not studied anything related to sociology. Why? Because you have been born and brought up in society. You are born in a family, you are brought up in your family. While you people grow by age, obviously you get married. So family is part of sociology, marriage is part of sociology. You are having relatives in society. So relative means that is kinship system, which is within the syllabus of sociology. Then every day you earn something and you spend something. So earning and spending is coming within the purview of economic system. Economic system is included within sociology. Then election was over. In the last election, what happened? Obviously, again BJP formed the government in the center and Congress is in opposition party. So this is political system, that is also part of sociology. And you know, in our country, people get married. All marriages don't become successful. Some marriages also fail. So failure of marriage, termination of marriage, that is called divorce. Divorce is also part of sociology. Divorce is also part of sociology. Then what is happening? You are observing that, you are witnessing the fact that different changes are taking place in our country, in our society, like industrialization, urbanization, globalization, privatization, liberalization, and etc. So all these things are included within the purview of social change. So you know, in your society, in your state, in your district, many people are migrating to the neighboring states. Many people are migrating to foreign countries. So this is migration. Migration is part of sociology. And globalization, privatization, liberalization, industrialization, urbanization, they are coming within the purview of social change. Social change is the subject matter of sociology. Therefore, I want to tell you the fact that though you have not studied any subject of sociology formally, but informally, in the process of growing up in society, you know the subject matter of sociology. Therefore, the subject matter of sociology is not new to you, though your knowledge about sociology may not be academic knowledge, but your knowledge about sociology and society is basically experiential knowledge and experimental knowledge, because you have experienced all these things. Okay, therefore subject matter of sociology, you know it. Okay, in addition to that, I want to tell you the fact that most of the topics of sociology like family, marriage, divorce, politics, education, social change, religion, all these topics are based upon your common sense knowledge. So if you are opting sociology, your common sense knowledge about society also would help you a lot in matter of covering the syllabus. Next thing is that I have already discussed topics of sociology are like this: family, marriage, divorce, prostitution, crime, kinship, education, politics, religion, industrialization, urbanization, globalization, migration, etc., regarding which you have the certain basic ideas, and your common sense helps you to also acquire some ideas related to these topics of sociology. Therefore, the subject matter of sociology is not new to you. Then I want to tell you how sociology helps you qualify in IS exam. How sociology helps you in matter of qualifying IS exam. In a very pointwise manner, I have just listed the things how sociology is helping you to in matter of qualifying IS exam. First thing is that the syllabus, after some time, after 10 minutes, I would be showing you the syllabus. You see, the syllabus of sociology is small. As the syllabus is small, it can be covered within a short spell of time. Then topics are interesting. How interesting? Because you know what family is, you know what marriage is, you know what divorce is, you know what kinship is, you know what religion is, you know what politics is. Obviously, reading all these things would generate interest in your mind. Therefore, the subject matter of sociology is interesting. Next thing, sociology helps you in matter of developing analytical ability. Means application of mind is required in matter of understanding sociology and also writing the answer of sociology. And the sociology shows you multiple dimensions in matter of answering a single question. What is that? I am explaining you. Just like a diamond has many faces, exactly in the same way, the topics of sociology can be dealt by adopting more than one approaches. How? For example, I am telling you, you see, suppose somebody asked you the fact that why the rate of divorce in modern world or modern India is growing or increasing. I am repeating it again. Why the rate of divorce in modern India or modern world is growing? Somebody asked you this question. You said that in traditional world or traditional India, the influence of religion upon the thought process of the people was very high. But in modern India and modern world, the influence of religion upon the thought process of human being is reducing. In traditional India, people were thinking that marriages are made in heaven. But in today's India, as the influence of religion started declining, people in modern India and modern world, they started thinking that marriage is a process of adjustment between two persons. If two persons, namely husband and wife, they are living under the same roof and fighting n number of times every day, it's better to be separated from each other than staying under the same roof and fighting n number of times every day. So as the influence of religion started declining upon the people, that's the reason they started thinking in a very logical way, and that is the reason why the rate of divorce in India and world is growing. This answer is correct? Yes or no? What do you think? Answer is not correct? Yes, it is correct. If the same question is asked to somebody else, why the rate of divorce in modern India is increasing, modern world is increasing, he answered it in different way. He said that in traditional India or traditional world, the scope of employment on part of women was less, but in 21st century world or India, women's scope of employment is higher. As in 21st century India and world, the scope of employment of women is higher and the earning capacity of women is higher. So in traditional India, fighting was taking place between husband and wife, but as the women were not having any viable source of income, so whenever they felt that injustice was done to them, as they were lacking the viable source of income, that's the reason they were forced to make compromise, because of which rate of divorce in traditional India was less. But in 21st century India, characterized by globalization, women are engaged in different spheres of economy, may it be primary sector like agriculture, may it be the secondary sector like industry, or may it be the tertiary sector like the service sector. In every sector, women are having placement, women are having job, their income has been increased, their earning capacity has been grown, and whenever the women feel that injustice is done against them, in today's India they are not ready to make compromise because they are having financial independence, but in past India they were having financial dependence upon the male. So as women are having financial independence, that's the reason whenever they feel that injustice is done to them, they are not ready to make compromise. That's the reason the number of fighting between husband and wife in our country is growing, and this is eventually contributing towards divorce. And because of financial independence of women, because of financial independence of women, increasing rate of divorce that India is witnessing in 21st century. Another student replied like this: is he correct or not? Yes, he is also equally correct. So you see, I asked one question to two different candidates, and two different candidates answered in two different ways. This is called multiple approaches in matter of writing the same answer. Just like a diamond has multiple faces, exactly in the same way, sociology can be answered by adopting more than one approaches. That's the reason I told you sociology shows you multiple dimensions for a single topic, just like a diamond has multiple faces. Next thing I want to tell you, that if you are opting sociology, sociology helps you in matter of developing debating ability. Already I have discussed these two approaches that I showed you, that is part of the debate. Next is, sociology also helps you in English essay paper. Sociology helps you in English essay paper. In addition to that, if you are opting sociology, your knowledge about sociology helps you in all the 4 general study papers of your written examination. And finally, sociology also helps you in viva voce. How? Because in viva voce or interview, generally information oriented questions are not asked, rather debatable questions, analytical questions, opinion based questions are asked. And sociology helps you in matter of developing different approaches with respect to the same topic. Therefore, sociology helps you a lot in matter of developing a confidence for answering the question in interview in a better way. And I have also presented the things in a point-wise manner. You see how sociology is helping you in the 4 papers of general study. Just I have presented the facts in point-wise manner. Contribution of sociology to GS paper 1. Use a short tip of it. How sociology helps you in general study paper 1. If you see the syllabus, obviously within the syllabus of GS paper 1, all these topics have been prescribed which are part of your sociology syllabus. Then come to GS paper 2. These are the topics prescribed in your GS paper 2, and they are coming within the purview of sociology syllabus. Then come to GS paper 3. GS paper 3. These are the topics prescribed in syllabus of your sociology, and if you are opting sociology, these topics of sociology are helping you in GS paper 3 and finally come to GS paper 4. GS paper 4. Obviously, all these topics of GS paper 4 are automatically covered once you are opting sociology as your optional in IS written examination. Due to the above mentioned factors, sociology has emerged as one of the most popular optional in today's scenario in UPSC civil service examination. And all these things I have presented, contribution of sociology, just I have presented in a graphical manner how sociology is helping you in different areas of your preparation, because I told you that you opt for that optional which helps you in matter of your entire trajectory of preparation for civil service examination. And if your optional is sociology, ultimately sociology would help you in English essay. You see, in the written examination, there is an essay paper, weightage is 250 marks. And 8 essays are asked in essay paper. Out of the 8 essays, you have to write answer of 2 essays. If you see the previous year's questions of essay paper, you would reach at the conclusion that out of 8 essays, every year UPSC has asked at least 4 essays which are the subject matter of society or sociology. You see, these days the trend of essay paper has been changed. Actually, section A, section B essay paper is divided into 2 sections, and section A, all questions are philosophical, 4 questions of essay. Section B also, all 4 papers are, all 4 questions are, topics are philosophical. But actually, only in appearance they are philosophical. Appearance wise they are philosophical, but content wise they are very factual. And out of 8 essays that has been asked in 2023 or 22 or 21, you would see that 4 topics are from society. Therefore, your knowledge about society would help you enormously for covering the topics of essay paper and scoring good marks in essay paper. Then sociology also contributes in GS paper 1 I have discussed, GS paper 2 I have also discussed, GS paper 3 also I have discussed, GS paper 4 also I have discussed. In addition to that, I told you how your approach, multiple approach that you would develop in matter of studying sociology, that would help you scoring, answering the question of viva voce or interview in better way, and scoring better marks in viva voce. Finally, sociology also helps you enhancing your analytical ability. Due to all these points that I discussed right now, in today's scenario, sociology has emerged as one of the most popular subject across our country. This is all about the strategy related to how to decide optional. Just I am briefing the things that I discussed till now. I told you the fact that if you are in a state of confusion, till now you have not decided what would be your optional, then decide your optional by putting your mind these 4 facts. First thing is that the optional that you plan to decide, or you think to opt in UPSC civil service examination, whether the subject matter of the optional is interesting for you. That is the first point. Second point, if you have not done any degree in that subject, then whether you are in a consolidated position to get good guidance from a teacher. Third point, that the optional that you think to opt for UPSC civil service examination, how the subject matter of the optional would be helping you in matter of preparing in the whole trajectory of preparation, means how the optional would contribute for English essay paper, for general study papers, for your viva voce, So keeping all these things in your mind, you just opt for the optional. And fourth point is that what is the connection between the optional and the administration? You know, if you qualify this exam, you would become an IAS officer or become an IPS officer. Whether you are an IPS officer or IAS officer, you have to work within the society and you have to work for the society. You have to implement the policies of the government, keeping in mind how to bring development to our country. And obviously, your sociology is dealing with the entire society. Therefore, there is a great connection between your administration and social life. This is all about the criteria in matter of deciding optional in the UPSC Civil Service examination. Okay, right now, how to decide optional, that topic is over. As today is the orientation class, in this class, I would not teach you anything formally related to sociology. Rather, I would discuss how your idea about sociology would be helping you to become successful in IAS exam. In addition to that, how your knowledge about sociology would be contributing for making you an efficient and effective civil servants of our nation. That I would be discussing, just giving you 1 minute break. After that, I would be discussing one important topic. You may not opt sociology, that doesn't matter, but that topic would help you to write better answer in English essay. And that topic that I am planning to discuss with you right now after 1 minute, that would help you in matter of scoring better marks in interview, that is sociological perspective, that I would be discussing after 1 minute. Let me have a break for 1 minute. Okay, so right now come back to the discussion. First I am discussing today, I will be discussing one important thing related to sociology, which has a connection with your English essay paper, as well as which has a connection with your questions of interview or viva voce, that I am discussing right now. That topic is sociological perspective. That topic is sociological perspective. What do you mean by sociological perspective? Sociological means something related with sociology, and sociology means study of society. So sociological means something related with society, that is sociological. Second is perspective. Perspective, what do you mean by perspective? Perspective has been derived from the root word that is perceive. Perspective has been derived from the root word that is perceive. Perceive means to observe, to look at. Perceive means to observe. Observe. Perceive means to observe, to view or to look at. Perceive means to observe, to view or to look at. So perspective constitutes a way of looking at an event. So what is sociological perspective? Formally speaking, sociological perspective constitutes a specific way of looking at different events of society. Listen, sociological perspective, you can write it down. I am speaking very slowly. That sociological perspective constitutes a special way of looking at different events of society. That is the meaning of sociological perspective. You see, all people of the society don't look at the same event in the same eyes. Getting my point? Take for example, religion. If you ask a person, do you believe in God? He says, yes, I believe in God. If you ask the same question to another person, do you believe in God? He says, no, I don't believe in God. If you ask a person if you ask a question to a person, does your belief in God help you? He says, yes, my belief in God helps me. If you ask the same question to another person who believes in religion and God, that is your belief in God and religion helps you? He says, no, it does not help me. So you see, this is perspective. Means how people look at the same event in different angles. That is the meaning of sociological perspective. Okay. So perspective means how people look at different events of society. Before teaching you formally what sociological perspective is all about, I want to tell you an interesting story related to perspective. Listen me. There are two young men coming from two opposite directions. They got collided with each other because without looking at the street, they were moving in the street. So as they were not attentive while they were moving on the street and coming from two opposite directions, they got collided with each other. They got dashed with each other. They are young and energetic. As they got collided, they felt very angry and annoyed. One young man asked the question to another young man, why are you moving on the street without looking at the street? आप क्यों रास्ता में चलते हैं रास्ता नहीं देखकर? Second young man also asked the same question. If I was not able to look at the street, what you were doing? मैं तो रास्ता नहीं देखकर चलता था, लेकिन आप क्या करते थे? आप क्यों रास्ता नहीं देखकर चलते थे? In this way, they got engaged in altercation, means exchange of words with each other, and finally they started fighting with each other in the street. But social life is like this. What happened? Though today they got dashed with each other and fought with each other subsequently, time passed, days passed into months, months passed into years, and after some years, they became very good friends of each other. This is the uniqueness of social life. Your friend is not always your friend, your enemy is not always your enemy. So, today they fought with street, but time passed, after some time they became very close friends of each other. And one day, what happened? As they became very close friends of each other, one day in the evening, they were sitting at a hilltop. And as they are close friends, obviously they were engaged in certain proximate discussion, certain important discussion, close emotional discussion they were engaged in. And that was a moonlit night, they were sitting at a hilltop and engaged in emotional discussion. All of a sudden, one young man put a question to another young man. My dear friend, have you remembered the fact how our friendship was originated? And the other friend replied, how can I forget the fact that our friendship was originated out of fighting in the street? Getting my point? So, the other friend asked the question, my dear friend, can you tell me why on that day you were moving in the street without looking at the street? And obviously he replied, that day was very painful day for me, because on that day I was going to divorce my wife in the court of law. As divorce is a very painful episode, and I was going to court of law to divorce my wife. That's the reason I was feeling very annoyed. I was feeling very unhappy. I was absent-minded, so I was moving in the street without looking at the street. That's the reason I could not detect the fact that you were coming from other direction. So I got dashed with each other, I got collided with each other. Okay, this is over. Right now, after giving this explanation, this friend asked the question to other friend. Okay, my dear friend, I was in tension. That's the reason I was moving in the street without looking at the street. But what went wrong with you? Why that specific day you were moving in the street without looking at the street? And the other friend replied, my dear friend, I had applied for marriage, and I was in love with a lady, and that day I was going to marry that lady. And you know, during the time of marriage, how much excited, how much happy, how much elevated people in our society feel. So as I was going to marry a lady, I was feeling very much excited, I was feeling very much elated, I was feeling very much happy. So out of extreme sense of happiness, while I was moving in the street, I could not detect and diagnose the fact that you were coming from the other direction of the street. That's the reason I got collided with you, because of feeling of excessive sense of happiness. In this way, two friends narrated the episode how they were walking on that specific day on street without looking at the street. And I want to tell you the fact that to their utter surprise, they came to know the fact that the lady is the same to whom the first friend was going to divorce and the second friend was going to marry. Getting my point? If you understand this story, if you remember this story, sociological perspective would be done by you in a very crystal clear manner. If you remember this story, it's very easy to connect the story with sociological perspective. I told you what is sociological perspective. The way people look at different events of society is called sociological perspective. You see, the lady is same, but how the first man was thinking about the lady and how the second friend was thinking about the lady. The first friend was thinking, she is the lady I cannot live with, because he was going to divorce that lady, na? So she is the lady I cannot live with. But other friend was thinking, she is the lady I cannot live without. So you see, one young man thinks, she is the lady I cannot live with. I cannot live with this lady. Other young man is thinking, I cannot live without this lady. So where was lying the fault? Was the fault lying with the lady? No. Fault was lying with the way, with the approach on part of the people towards the lady. This is the true meaning of sociological perspective that I explained you in a storytelling manner. Right now I am connecting it to topics of sociology, topics of English essay paper, topics of your viva voce or interview. What is that? As I told you a few minutes before, that religion is an important topic of social life. In society, majority of the people believe in God and religion. Only a few people don't believe in God and religion. So people, those who believe in God and religion, they see positive contribution of their belief in God and religion. Okay, you see, for example, there is a civil service aspirant who took the UPSC examination. All the 4 attempts are gone. He could not make it. He could not qualify it. He believes in God. After his failure, he would feel frustrated. But while he or she feels frustrated, he thinks about God and religion. He thinks, okay, everything is happening because of the will of the God. I could not become IAS officer or IPS officer. Probably God did not want me to become IAS and IPS officer. But why to feel worried? Why to feel disheartened? Why to feel discouraged? Why to feel de-energized? Definitely, God might have kept something for me. I could not become IAS. I can become a minister, and I would be engaged in policy formulation of my state. So, if a candidate after his failure believes in God, obviously his belief in God would provide him or her constant sense of motivation, so that he would feel motivated and energized. He would be engaged in other activities. He would become successful in those activities. So a candidate after his failure in civil service examination may take to politics and can become also, by contesting election, he can become an MLA, MP, or he can become a minister. Therefore, people, those who believe in God and religion, their belief in God and religion has a positive contribution in their life. That means belief in God and religion provides them motivation. Okay. Then there is another candidate who never believes in God and religion, but throughout his life he or she stood first class fast in every stage of his career, and after his failure, as he or she does not believe God and religion, he would feel frustrated, he would feel demotivated, he would feel demoralized, and he or she would think that, okay, UPSC could not give me justice. I wrote the answer very well, and I could not score good marks. Means justice has not been given to me. Injustice has been given to me by UPSC examination. He or she may think like this time and again. While he and she may think time and again about his failure, obviously he would enter into a very chronic sense of frustration, and his chronic sense of frustration would contribute towards his or her depression. And a depressed person may also take the attempt of committing suicide. So people, you see, I am not giving my personal views about all these things, just I am showing you how different ways are there for the purpose of analyzing the same topic, religion. I want to tell you the fact that the person who believes in God and religion, he or she may think that my belief in God and religion provides me motivation to overcome the crisis, overcome the frustration, overcome the failure, and feel more motivated and energized. On the other hand, a person who does not believe in God and religion, he or she may think that he or she may keep on thinking about his or her failure time and again, because of which frustration, demotivation, discouragement may come, and ultimately it would lead towards entering the person into a state of depression, and utter depression may tempt the person to commit suicide. Getting my point? So in this way, religion being a topic can be analyzed with two different angles, highlighting, seeing the positive contribution of religion and analyzing the positive contribution of religion, that is called functionalism, and analyzing the negative contribution of religion, that is called conflict theory. That I will teach you in detail later. But as today is the orientation class, I want to tell you the fact that sociology would provide you different perspective, and by adopting this perspective, you can answer the essay paper well. By adopting this perspective, you can also answer the question that is asked in the interview in a better way. Take another example, police. Police is an important institution. Seeing the positive contribution of police, seeing the negative contribution of police, these are the two different ways or two different perspectives related to police. People, those who see the positive contribution of any institution of society, they are called functionalists. Functionalism, and people are called functionalists, seeing the positive contribution. Function means positive contribution. Functional means something positive. So in sociology there is a perspective that is called functional perspective. Functional perspective highlights the positive contributions of different elements of society. Okay. And opposite of functional perspective or functionalism is conflict perspective. Opposite of functional perspective is conflict perspective. Okay, so I am writing on the other side. Opposite of functional perspective is conflict perspective. Conflict means highlighting the negative contributions of different elements of society. So religion has positive contribution, approach is called functionalism. So religion or my belief in God helps me in matter of overcoming the crisis that has come to my life. If a person thinks like this, his approach is called functional perspective. But religion has also negative contribution. Some people in our society see the negative contribution of religion. Their approach is conflict perspective or conflict approach. How? For example, you know, all over the world, in the name of religion, once upon a time, slavery system was existing, slave and slave master. Slave master was exploiting the slave in the name of God and religion. In Europe and America, there was existing racialism, race system, white-black discrimination. White-black discrimination, that is racism or racialism. White person was exploiting the black person, oppressing the black person in the name of religion and God. In India, there was existing caste system. Brahmin was exploiting the Dalit in the name of God and religion. So, if you highlight the negative contribution of religion, this is called conflict perspective. All of you are clear? Okay. So, take the example of police. If what is the functional approach of police? If you ask a question to somebody related to police and he says, police is an institution which is helping in matter of maintaining law and order in society, it means police has a positive contribution. This is functional approach or functionalism. You ask the same question to another person who sees the negative contribution of police. He says, police helps only the rich people having money, power and influence in society, and police does not help the poor people, those who are not having money, power and influence. For example, I am telling you, there was a rich person, a man of a billion, a man of trillion. He got a threat call over phone. An extortionist called him and told that give me 2 crore rupees or else I would be abducting your child from school. As soon as he got this threat call over phone, he intimated it to a police station. The IIC or SHO reached in his house, told, don't worry, I would be taking necessary steps how your son or how your child will be protected and will not be abducted by the extortionist. Obviously, from his point of view, police helped him a lot. So police has a positive contribution. But take the reverse example. There is a rickshaw wala. By sweat of his brows, he had accumulated 10,000 rupees. And he had kept that 10,000 rupees in an earthen pot. He was not having any bank account. Probably Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana scheme was not implemented at that point of time. That's the reason this rickshaw wala was not having any bank account. So he had put that 10,000 rupees in an earthen pot, put that earthen pot below his cot. One the night, a thief entered into his house and took away that 10,000 rupees. Next day morning, while he went to the police station, met the SHO. SHO would not allow him to meet him immediately. SHO told that you wait there, I am busy. He waited for 2-3 hours outside of the police station. And finally, while he was able to meet the SHO or IIC, the SHO or IIC cross-questioned him, you are a rickshaw wala, from where you got that 10,000 rupees? You see, a person whose money has been taken away by a thief, and after waiting in police station for 3-4 hours, while he would be cross-questioned, while he would be grilled like this, will he develop any positive view towards police? Not absolutely. He would develop a negative view. So he would say, police is an institution which is promoting the interest of the rich people, and police is an institution which is not concerned for or connected with the interest of the poor people. So police has a negative contribution. So seeing the positive contribution of police, that is functionalism or functional approach. Seeing the negative contribution of police is called your conflict approach. Right now I am connecting it to interview. In interview they ask a question. These days they are asking question related to globalization. What is globalization? Is globalization really helping the poor people of your country? What is globalization? That I will discuss later in detail, but I am just giving you a definition related to globalization or meaning of globalization. Globalization is a process of socio-economic and cultural change by which the social boundaries among different nations of the globe are getting eroded, and slowly and steadily the whole world is getting converted into a single homogeneous entity. Or in a very simpler way, I can say you, globalization is the recent process of socio-economic and cultural change by which what is happening? There is free flow of ideas, information, capital, commodities and technologies among the people all over the world. This is globalization. Is globalization really helping the poor people in India? This is interview. You can say yes. If you say yes, you have to justify your yes. You can also say no. If you say no, you have to justify your no. So is globalization helping the poor people? Suppose answer is yes on your part. This is functional approach. How to justify it? Yes. Because of globalization, outsourcing is taking place. Because of globalization, you know what is happening, different food delivery apps have emerged, like Food Panda, like Swiggy and others, Zomato and others. Due to globalization, many cab services are available, like yours, Ola, Uber cab. So before the emergence of Ola and Uber cab, you people were, whenever you are booking a taxi, you are paying more amount of money to the taxi person, owner. But these days, what is happening? Because of availability of Ola and Uber cab, you are moving from places to places comparatively with less charge. This is the positive impact of globalization. Because of globalization, sitting at home and giving order to the different food delivery services like Zomato, Food Panda and Swiggy, you are getting the food at your doorstep. This is the positive contribution of globalization. A person can answer, a student like you can answer like this. This is called functional perspective in sociology, and that functional perspective is helping you in matter of answering the question in interview in a better way. But what I am saying, that is not the absolute answer. You can also say globalization is not helping. How? Take the negative aspect of globalization, that is conflict approach, conflict perspective. You can answer by adopting conflict approach that, sir, due to globalization, outsourcing is taking place. Because of outsourcing, what is happening? obviously permanent job, number of permanent job in our country is reducing and number of contractual jobs are growing. So many people are having job, but not government job, but contractual jobs. In contractual jobs, what is happening? Salary is less, conditions, terms and condition of service is stringent. So in this way, due to globalization, while contractual jobs are proliferating, obviously financial security of the people of our country is reducing. Analyzing in this way, that is called conflict approach. So in this way, sociology is helping you to answer the question by highlighting the positive contribution of the topic. This is functional approach or functional perspective, or highlighting the negative dimensions of the topic, that is called conflict perspective. In this way, there is a connection between sociology and your interview papers, interview questions. Sorry. Then another thing, just I want to tell you, you might have heard about Ajmal Kasab. You know, Kasab was a terrorist, came from Pakistan, entered into Indian territory, attacked many innocent people there in Mumbai. Finally, he was caught by the security personnel and arrested, sent to the jail. He stayed in jail he was boarded in the jail for 4 years. Finally, he was given capital punishment or death penalty. This was published in Hindu, specific date I have mentioned. And while he stayed in a jail in Bombay or Mumbai, within 4 years, government spent this much amount of money, 29.5 crore rupees for Kasab. This is the report published in Hindu newspaper. They may ask a question in interview. How much is it justified on part of the government to spend 29.5 crore rupees for a terrorist like Ajmal Kasab, while in India approximately 26% people are living below the poverty line? Means out of 100 Indians, 26 Indians are going to bed in the night with empty stomach every day. Then what is the justification of spending 29.5 crore rupees for a terrorist, that too not Indian, that too a Pakistani terrorist who was boarded in Mumbai jail for 4 years? This is a question. How to answer the question? I told you the fact that sociological perspective would help you to answer this question. Spending this much money on part of government is justified. If you say yes, it is justified, this is functional approach. If you say no, it is not justified, this is conflict approach. How? You see, you can justify yes, government spent finally 29.5 crore rupees for Ajmal Kasab through the process of trial while he was boarded in a jail in Mumbai. That is justified. How? Because obviously in India there is rule of law, and you know, there is philosophy of law that is called jurisprudence. Jurisprudence says that an accused must be regarded as innocent. I am repeating it again. An accused must be regarded as innocent unless and until the contrary has been established by the court of law. Means Kasab entered into India, he was a Pakistani, killed many innocent people in Mumbai, he was arrested, sent to the jail. But immediately arresting him, we could not have given him capital punishment or death penalty, because obviously trial process is there. Trial process by court of law took 4 years. And after 4 years, while he was boarded, obviously he was provided security. and he was also doing drama type of things in the jail. Sometimes he told, okay, this is Rakhi, Raksha Bandhan Utsav. Let Rakhi Samant come and tie Rakhi on my hand. Okay, and the type of food that was served to him, sometimes he was protesting, no, I cannot eat this type of food, give me better quality food. So you see, while state was providing protection to this criminal Kasab, obviously trial process took so many years. Within this 4 years, this much amount that I told you, 29.5 crore was spent on Kasab. Though it has many negative things, but still then you see, through proper fair trial, by following the principle of law, he was given death penalty or capital punishment. Tomorrow, if you become Foreign Secretary of India, or you are a representative of India, representing India there in UNO, obviously you can say that you see, in India, not only the letter of law prevails, the spirit of law also prevails in India. Because Kasab was a terrorist, that too from Pakistan, and we are not having good relationship with Pakistan. But in matter of giving capital punishment to Ajmal Kasab, we thoroughly followed the principle of law as well as the spirit of law as well as the letter of the law. This reflects the glorified image of India in the eyes of the entire international community. That India is a country where the letter and spirit of law is strictly followed. Even in matter of giving death penalty to a foreign terrorist, we followed all these things. In this way, India's image in the eyes of the international community got glorified, though Government of India spent a huge amount of money in the process of trial of Ajmal Kasab, a terrorist of Pakistan. Seeing the positive contribution of it, this is functional perspective. You can also say, no, this is unjustified. You say, while in India, out of 100 Indians, 26 Indians are going to bed with empty stomach every day night. What was the justification of following such a lengthy process of trial? His fate would have been decided, his trial would have been done as soon as possible within 2-3 months, and he could have been given a capital punishment. So, following a very lengthy procedure in matter of trial of a foreign terrorist Ajmal Kasab is not justified. You can speak like this also. This is conflict perspective. So in this way, I wanted to tell you the fact that whether you opt sociology or not, that doesn't matter. But sociological perspective would be helping you immensely and enormously in matter of answering the question of interview with a sense of confidence. Okay? Right now, come to the syllabus of sociology. This is the syllabus of sociology. In sociology, there are 2 papers. Paper 1 has 10 units. You just take the snapshot of it. Paper 1 has 10 units. Okay, this is paper 1. Then paper 2. Paper 2 has 3 units A, B, C, which are further divided into subunits. If you count the number of subunits, so paper unit 2A has 2 subunits, unit B has 6 subunits, so 2 plus 6, that is 8, and unit C has 7 subunits. So in this way, this is C, it has 7 subunits. So 2 plus 6 plus 7, that is 15 subunits. This is the syllabus. You can check it also in net. Okay, so in this way, there are, in paper 1 there are 10 units, in paper 2 there are 3 units which are further divided into 15 subunits. So in this way, 10 plus 15, that is 25 number of units are there for both paper 1 and paper 2. Right now I am telling you my methodology of teaching. I would teach you the entire syllabus of paper 1 and paper 2, that is 10 plus 15, that is 25 units, would be covered by me within 250 hours. I have already prepared a scheme of my classroom that I would be displaying you in the process of teaching you the things, and how questions have been asked from different units of sociology both in paper 1 and paper 2 over the last 6-7 years. I have made a trend analysis. Just take a snapshot of it. UPSC Sociology optional question paper trend analysis starting from 2018 to 2023. I have made a trend analysis for 6 years. From which unit how much marks have been asked in different years, I have just made a trend analysis. Take the photo of it. Okay. So you see, number of hours taken by me for covering the whole syllabus including paper 1 and paper 2 of sociology, that I am displaying you here in this slide. Just take the photo of it. Paper 1, for which unit how many hours classes are taken by me for you. Right now come to paper 2. Okay, take the photo. In this way, totally I take 250 hours. Within this 250 hours of teaching you sociology, I would discuss each and every topic prescribed in your syllabus. I would not leave a single topic of your syllabus. And what is my methodology of teaching you sociology, each and every topic prescribed in your syllabus? First I would pick up the topic. I would explain you the meaning. Then how questions have been asked from that unit or that topic, that I would discuss. Previous year's questions with its answer also I would discuss. I would give you the answer in the classroom in form of dictation. Okay, and how question will be asked in future from the topic, that will be also discussed by me in the classroom. Along with it, the answer will be provided to you. In addition to that, I would provide you 10 printed booklets covering each and every topics of your syllabus. So 10 printed material would be provided to you covering the entire syllabus of your sociology. In addition to that, I would also provide you 2 handwritten class note. This is handwritten, not printed. Handwritten class note. Okay, and I have already given dictation to the students, those who have already become successful in IAS examination, and the latest handwritten class note with a good handwriting would be provided to you, so that I would not give a dictation related to each and every topics. I would just discuss the topic. I would discuss the answer of the questions that UPSC has already asked. I would also discuss some probable questions and its answer also, but latest handwritten class note would be provided to you. This is the book list for sociology. For paper 1, all these things I have mentioned. Paper 2, all these things I have mentioned. In addition to that, obviously comprehensive study material of VVRIS, that is 10 number of booklets, printed booklets would be provided to you. You see, if you have any doubts, you can ask me related to your approach of preparation for UPSC Civil Service examination. Okay, you see, what is the approach of preparation? Okay, actually adopt an integrated approach. What is integrated approach? You know, this examination has 3 stages: prelim, written, viva post. What happens? Student first prepare for prelim, then they start preparation for written examination, and finally they prepare for interview. This is called compartmentalized approach. This compartmentalized approach never helps you in matter of becoming successful. Rather, adopt its opposite approach, that is called integrated approach. You adopt integrated approach. What is integrated approach? Integrated approach. Integrated approach means at a time you have to prepare for all the 3 stages of examination. So what to do? I am telling you. Before starting your preparation, first you see the syllabus, arrange the material as per the topics of the syllabus. Then collect the previous year's questions. Keep those questions there on your study table. These questions consist the questions of prelim exam and written exam, and also, if possible, also collect the questions of interview. These days it's available in internet. Then what you have to do? Suppose you started your preparation for polity. Polity means most popular book is Indian Polity and Constitution by Mr. 𝐿axmikant. What generally the student do? They start reading the books written by Mr. 𝐿axmikant from beginning till end. While the book is complete, they feel very happy and elevated. Yes, one book is over, one book is complete. That is not the right approach. What to do? Read only first 10 pages of any book, maybe polity, maybe history, maybe geography, any book. After reading 10 pages, you stop there. Then see how from these 10 pages of this topic, questions have been asked in written exam. By reading these 10 pages, are you able to answer the questions? Suppose yes, then you are in right track. Suppose not able to answer, change your approach of reading the book. Read it in some other way. Right now, are you able to answer? Yes. That means your preparation for prelim is done. But don't proceed. Then see how from these 10 pages questions have been asked in written exam. Are you able to answer it? No, suppose. Then change your approach, change your orientation. And seeing the question right now, are you able to answer? Suppose reading second time, you are able to answer. You are in the right track. And how questions have been asked from these 10 pages in interview. See it, check it. Are you able to answer? Yes. That means you just read 10 pages of the book, but you prepared for prelim, for written, for interview. So, in this way, how much pages you are studying it keeping in mind the requirement of prelim exam, written exam, interview. This is called integrated approach. Adopt this approach. This approach would definitely produce success for you. But what generally student do? Student read one book, while the book is complete, they feel happy, but while exam approaches, at that point of time, they see the previous year questions and they feel demotivated because time is over, entire year is exhausted, entire year is gone, but they think right now they feel demotivated. No, the way questions are asked, I have not prepared like this. While they feel it, at the fag end of the year, while 10-15 days are left for examination, they don't get any scope of modifying or rectifying their approach. Don't adopt that approach. Okay, just adopt integrated approach. And you see, another thing I want to tell you today, from today you develop a very strong determination that you have to become an IAS officer or IPS officer or any other job that you like. Start thinking that from today onward, the rest of my life would become the best of my life. preparation for UPSC examination would take, completing the whole syllabus would take 1 year. And the process of examination, that is 3 stages of examination, prelim, written and interview, that would take another 1 year. So if today you start your preparation and you become successful in your first attempt, that means after 2 years you would become successful if you become successful in first attempt. But there is no guarantee that all candidates would become successful in first attempt. Some may become successful in second, third, fourth attempt. So at least 2 years are required for preparation. Sometimes it may take 3 years, 4 years, 5 years to see the face of success. During this period, 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, time and again you may feel very high, time and again you feel very low. Means you feel very much motivated sometimes and sometimes also highly demotivated. During the feeling of demotivation, you feel discouraged and disheartened. You don't feel to study. You develop a shattering confidence. While this type of negative thought comes to your mind, don't feel worried. It's very natural, because students, those who are sincere and serious in their preparation, sometimes they feel demotivated, discouraged, even 10-15 days before the examination, prelim written examination. Many students are not able to sleep properly because they keep on thinking about their exam so seriously that they are not able to sleep properly. If during exam this type of thought comes to your mind, don't feel worried. Think that this is very natural, because I am very serious, very sincere in matter of my preparation. That's the reason just 10 days before exam, this type of negative thought is coming to your mind. This is a good symbol. I should not be worried. So adopt a self-motivating mechanism. Don't think that somebody would come from outside and motivate you. So time and again demotivation may come, but adopt a self-motivating mechanism how to make you feel motivated. Okay? And don't think to quit the preparation. Okay? Because determination is the first stage, is the first step of success. People, those who are strongly determined, only those people are able to see the face of success. If you develop that strong determination, definitely one day you would become successful. And if you adopt self-motivating mechanism, so whenever demotivation comes to you, you would be able to overcome it. Because I usually used to say that a person of strong determination can germinate seeds on the hearts of the stone. You might have read the poem written by 𝐻𝐴𝐺 𝐕, पत्थर की छाती में उग आया नव अंकुर. It means a person of strong determination can germinate seed on the hearts of the stones. Have that strong determination, definitely success would chase after you. And whenever you feel discouraged and disheartened during the process of your preparation, don't think to escape. Because again I want to conclude, I want to quote from 𝐻𝐵 𝐕, a poem written by 𝐻𝐵 𝐕, where he says that जड़ता का नाम जीवन नहीं है, जड़ता का नाम जीवन नहीं है, पलायन पुरोगमन नहीं है, आदमी को चाहिए कि वो जूझे, परिस्थितियों से लड़े, एक स्वप्न टूटे तो दूसरा गढ़े. Means if you become escapist, you would never become successful. I am repeating it again. जड़ता का नाम जीवन नहीं है. Stagnation is not the meaning of life. Change is the meaning of life. Change and life, they are interconnected. जड़ता का नाम जीवन नहीं है. पलायन पुरोगमन नहीं है. Quitting the battlefield is not equated with returning back to home. You have to return back to home with success. पलायन पुरोगमन नहीं है. आदमी को चाहिए कि वो जूझे. Whenever negative thought comes to your mind, you have to fight against your negative thought, and you should have the ability of converting your negative thought into positive thought. आदमी को चाहिए कि वो जूझे, परिस्थितियों से लड़े. Whatever negative thought would come, whatever difficulties and painstaking path it may be, you have to overcome it. आदमी को चाहिए कि वो जूझे, परिस्थितियों से लड़े, एक सपनों टूटे तो दूसरा गढ़े. If one dream is shattered, you have to dream about a better dream. If you adopt this self-motivating mechanism, that is really necessary for success, and one day definitely you would be able to see the face of the success. Okay, this, just keep all these things in your mind. As today is the orientation class, I don't want to teach you anything more, so let me wind up the class for today, and I extend my immense sense of thankfulness to you all, those who are seated in front of me and listening to me very attentively. Okay, wish you all the best for future. Wish you all the best. Thank you.